So let's talk about called to be saints. Why
Hmm.
called to be saints? I think am I getting that correct? Is that
You
the
are
name of
correct
your
with that.
class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't wait
Well,
for our listeners to hear about this program. So
okay.
tell
Well,
us
I'm
all about
never too content just to show up and work. I got to make things a little challenging here. But
it.
to go way back, this class is honestly a reflection of my own personal faith life. I always meld my faith life with my teaching, not only for my students but for myself. And I love the apologetics class, the Why Am I Catholic class. It really is. It's an intellectual look at the Catholic faith, and I think that's really really important. Anybody who says that oh, you've got to be small minded to believe in God, to believe in Jesus and religion, and I'd love to show them our former valedictorians who have entered religious vocations. I would love to talk to them just about the intellectual, just gravitas behind the Catholic faith. But going along with that, you can't just stop at the intellectual. And I got to a point in my own personal faith life where I felt like that's all I was doing, to be honest. And I just looked in the mirror and I said, I'm not doing what Jesus told me to do, and I'm not going where he told me to go. And I felt the need to connect with Catholic social teaching because I felt like I had been ignoring it for too long. And at a little bit of an advantage now in my life in that all four of my kids have graduated from high school. So we can't use the busyness of raising kids as an excuse. We do have a little bit more free time on our hands now. And so what I did is I just honestly started to talk to people that I really respected, people of deep faith, people who had taught different courses at Xavier, priests and nuns, former alumni. And then I started to reach out to people in the nonprofit world. And the neat thing about that was that a lot of the nonprofits in Cedar Rapids, in the area we wanted to focus on, they're part of our Xavier community. So, and in a couple of cases, they're my former students. And so I knew them personally, and I really got to look and to respect at their life and their world. And I finally said to myself, we need to do this, and we can't do it in the traditional way. I can't be in a classroom and tell you about homelessness and poverty and people who don't have enough food. And so, after several years of planning and great support from our administration, we now have a new class. It's called To Be Saints. And so, every other day for a couple of hours, I will load a dozen seniors in a van and I'll drive them to Immaculate Conception Parish, which is the downtown Cedar Rapids parish that serves a very, very diverse community. In terms of race and language in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And we meet there for about a half hour and we dive into the lives of saints. We have presentations on the lives of different saints, and then we have different prolonged prayer activities. And then we go out and we work at nonprofits. Yesterday, we were at a place called Metro Catholic Outreach. It's our local food pantry. And we're rotating in between downstairs stocking shelves, and we are passing out food. They distribute on Wednesday afternoons. And then we are working in the office when literally homeless come off the street and just need some help, need someone to talk to, need a hug, have a financial assistance appointment. And we sit in on that. And, our goals are to call people by name. Um, I have to make sure, I say it right. All community service is great. It really is wonderful. And we encourage everybody in every school and every parish to do it. But this is a theology class about Catholic social teaching. And we try to be authentic and we try to build relationships and learn people's names. And we didn't want to just show up and leave. We didn't want to do the service project and then never be heard from again, because then we're here and they're there, and that world doesn't seem like our world. And so, over the course of the semester thus far, we have been at the food pantry. We're working with a group called Young Parents Network. We're working with a phenomenal group called the ARC of East Central Iowa, and they have adults with developmental disabilities. And just today, I was so excited I had to text my wife, not during school because we can't have cell phones in the classroom. That's just as an aside.
Of
Okay.
course, of course.
I had to text my wife and I say, I just lined up a trip where adults from the ARC are going to take our students and they're going to take them on city buses, because none of our kids have ridden a city bus before, but yet other people don't have transportation. And to not just be around and do activities with adults with developmental disabilities, but to have them lead us and teach us and learn their name, I was just excited about that. And those are the types of experiences that we want our kids to have, because we want them to have a servant's heart that carries well beyond Xavier High School.